Hey there, everyone. Bill Jr. once again. And the question we're talking about today, do I have to repair or replace my roof? We get this question literally every day of the week, and I understand it. We get it. Um, you know, Looking at a roof replacement's a big investment. Most of us would hope that we can repair the roof. And let me start there. Here's the good news. About 90+% of the time, your roof is repairable, meaning we almost always can put a band-aid on it to at least stop the water. Now that doesn't mean it's a permanent long-term solution that's going to buy you 5 more years, but we also understand sometimes you just can't afford to make that investment in a new roof. So let's start there. Number one, just always know anyone who says no, you have to replace your roof, the first question should always be, well, isn't there a way somehow to buy me like 6 months just so I can get the right funds for it? As long as they say yes, then I would have some confidence in them. Or if they say no, they should be able to really articulate why. And there are instances where that does happen. So that's number one. But when it really comes down to, repair, replace, it's a very subjective process that you go through, which means you can often be at the whims of the experts you're talking to. So one of the things we did is we came up with a rubric or a guideline to help you as the consumer know, hey, am I looking at a replacement or should I be looking at a repair? Obviously hoping for the repair. So the tool you'll see in the blog below, just a simple infographic, right? And what it's looking at is the number one factor that drives is your roof in repair mode or is it in replacement mode is the age, right? We always talk about roofs properly installed, like a shingle roof should go 25 years. Flat roofs, they're right in that 20 to 30 year range depending on the materials. You get into some of the metal and some of the other materials, they can be substantially longer, but what's the age of the roof, right? It's going to ask you other questions about the pitch, the steepness, has previous repairs been done. Here's the other key metric that kind of drives whether or not you should repair or replace the roof. What's the cost of the repair, right? If you have an 18-year-old roof, but to fix it, to get it to stop, means that, you're going to be spending 35% of the cost of a new roof. Well, is that really the best investment? You might have to make that decision because of affordability factors, but if you think about doing a repair and the roof is rapidly hitting that 20, 21, 22, 23 year age, that means statistically, odds are something else is going to break down or fail on the roof. That's literally what happens to roofing systems. They wear out. So those are really, really important factors that whether you're a building owner, homeowner, you should be looking at. And we put this tool together just because, hey, we want to make it easy for you before you ever have anyone out there. You can do a lot of these questions on your own just because you've owned the home or owned the building for a substantial amount of time. The other concept in here is the life cycle cost, and that goes into, the question of, well, what percentage, like how much is a repair going to cost compared to a replacement? And it's your life cycle cost, right? A roof that's only $10,000 on year one, but only gets 10 years of life out of it, man, that is a pretty expensive roof if you think about it. You're paying $1,000 a year for that roof. Whereas the same roof that, let's say you spent $15,000, right? But it goes 20 years. If you take those numbers and divide them, you actually have a much lower annual cost for that roofing system because you got it to go 20 years, even though it was $5,000 more on day one. So those are the key factors. I will also throw out, the best thing you can do is get a qualified inspector out there to look at the roof because some of the things you can't tell, what's the brittleness of your shingles, right? Shingles do get brittle over time. If we can't even adjust them without them cracking and breaking, we're going to cause more damage than we're going to save or prevent by trying to do a repair. What's the health, like is there moss and algae everywhere? Like those are the things that you just need a qualified expert to get up there and do. Plus you need to know okay, what's wrong and what's it going to cost? With that said, I hope this video and this tool really helps you as the consumer get a better understanding of, do I repair, do I replace? And as always, your team here at Kanga is ready to help you in any way. Fill out a form, give us a call, 586-566-0308. We look forward to hopping to it for you.